This is Bradley Thunderbird Phoenix, aka Bradley Firebird, and I am speaking with Larry Groebe. How are you, Larry?
I'm doing fine, thank you. All's well
Okay,
here down in Texas.
yes, Texas. All right, let me tell the audience who Larry Groebe is. Larry Groebe is the founder, he says the guiding light of Project Audion and co-founder of the Generic Radio Workshop, which predates Project Audion. So, Larry, where were you born and raised? I think that's what I normally ask.
Okay, born in New Hampshire, of all places. Raised up until age 10 in Cincinnati, home of WLW, the mighty powerhouse station, the radio station there, and then moved to Texas. And I have been in one part or another of Texas ever since, which has become an awful long time. Don't have a Texas accent unless the character requires it.
I
So,
noticed that. I noticed you don't have it here.
no,
I probably
I
still
tend to
have a.
think of myself as a Midwesterner, and my family was from the Kansas City area.
Ah, very interesting. Now, since you are one of my counterparts in a radio theater company of yourself, uh, what attracted you to audio drama?
That's a good question, and I got attracted to it at a very early age. Um, in fact, probably that's related to the move to Texas. I think I must have been gifted a transistor radio when I was about 9 or 10 years old,
Oh,
and I loved that little thing, and I kept it by the bed, and I had it next to my pillow. And when I went to bed late at night, or late at night, what's late at night when you're 10 years old? 9:30. Uh, there was a station that I discovered in town that used to play comedy records.
mm,
It was an unusual little station that was owned by the city, as a matter of fact. So they had different programming. This was about 1969 or so, and they had a regular feature every hour where they would play a cut from a comedy record. And late at night, quote unquote, 9:30 that is to say, they would play half an hour of comedy records. And this was all kinds of comedians from that era. The hip comics of the day, George Carlin and the Smothers Brothers and people like that,
yes.
and the vintage guys as well, going back to the Marx Brothers and the Jack Benny and Stan Freberg.
Stan
And
Freeberg. Yes,
brilliant old Stan the Man Freberg.
yes,
And
yes.
they were playing bits from his radio show that Stan Freberg had in the late 50s, the one that replaced the Jack Benny show and became kind of the last network comedy show.
Hmm.
And if you can imagine a 10-year-old lying in bed with a transistor radio pressed to his ear, hearing some of the best of the Stan Freberg, and he was so imaginative in that era, imagining, the Lawrence Welk and and his ballroom floating out to sea, imagining two competing Las Vegas casinos who kept getting bigger and bigger acts until one of them decided the biggest thing at all would be to put on the hydrogen bomb for one night only. Um, and the gray flannel hat full of teenage werewolves, which is a pastiche of 50s movies combined with Mad Men. Those things sunk into my brain at a really early age. And that turned me on to the initial idea that radio was a storytelling medium that had really a great imagination. And then a few years later, was a child actor locally, so I got into
Oh,
drama just
I didn't
generally.
know that. That I
No,
didn't.
no, well, it's been a long time now. Uh, but I got on stage with a few major figures and did a couple local commercials and did those kinds of things. So I got bit by some drama, the drama bug a little as well,
Oh,
and kind of grew up out of that a little bit. You know, you can only be a child actor for a very few years, and at that point, radio reattracted me because I could go do a voice and not necessarily have to match my appearance to the voice. And so I kind of got enthusiastic about radio again. However, that's never been my career. It's merely been my hobby. I have my career is in marketing. It's been in technology and computers. I've done a stint in journalism and a number of other things. But I have always been fascinated by radio, the history of it, and the imaginative powers.